Let's talk about something you've probably seen a million times, the good old Ethernet cable. But what if I told you there's a special version of this cable, one with a really clever trick hidden inside? A trick that for years was kind of like a secret handshake for network pros.
Welcome to Super Courseva. Unlock the secrets of the internet and master computer networking. Let's dive in.
So you've been there, right? You've got two computers, you need to shuffle a file from one to the other. So you grab a network cable, plug them in, and crickets. Just nothing happens. No connection, no network, just silence. It's this super frustrating little puzzle that, as it turns out, has a fascinatingly simple solution.
So why does that direct connection fail so hard? Well, it all comes down to a simple case of miscommunication. To really get it, we need to peek inside that cable and see what's actually happening when two very similar devices try to have a conversation. See, the secret is understanding that network communication isn't just a free-for-all down a single pipe. Inside that plastic sheathing are 8 tiny little wires, and they have very specific jobs. Some are set aside just for sending data, for talking, and others are designated for receiving data, for listening. And what's wild is just how specific this rulebook is. For a standard computer network card, pins 1 and 2 are always for talking, and pins 3 and 6 are always for listening. Here's the catch. Both computers are programmed to follow that exact same rule. And right there, that's where our problem begins. And this table just lays it out perfectly. With a standard cable, what we call a straight-through cable, pin 1 on computer A connects straight to pin 1 on computer B. So computer A's talk wire is hooked up to computer B's talk wire. It's literally like two people trying to talk into each other's mouths at the same time. It's a collision. Meanwhile, their listen wires are connected to each other, so they're both just sitting there in silence, waiting for a signal that's never going to come. So how in the world do you fix this communication breakdown? You need a translator, right? Or in this case, a special cable that's built to do the translating for you. So let's meet the hero of our story, the crossover cable. A crossover cable looks almost identical to a regular one, but it's got a crucial difference hidden in its wiring. Its entire job is to physically swap the send and receive pairs, fixing that exact mismatch we just saw. It's a really clever, beautifully simple manual fix. And check this out. Here's how the crossover works its magic. It smartly takes the talk wires from computer A and connects them to the listen wires on computer B. And, of course, it does the exact same thing in reverse. Now, when computer A talks, computer B is actually listening. The conversation can finally happen. Success! I just love this analogy because it makes the concept crystal clear. A standard cable connects mouthpiece to mouthpiece and earpiece to earpiece. Total chaos. But a crossover cable, that's the smart engineer who realized, hey, wait a minute, you need to connect the mouthpiece to the earpiece for a conversation to actually work. It's just perfect, right? Okay, so this special cable exists, but they often look exactly the same. How can you tell if you're holding one? Well, there's a simple little visual trick you can use, and all it takes is a quick glance at the ends of the cable. So here's the dead giveaway. On a standard straight-through cable, the order of the little colored wires you see through the plastic connector, it's identical on both ends. But on a crossover cable, they're different. If you hold the two ends side by side, you'll literally see that the orange and green pairs have swapped places on one end. That's it. That's your tell. Now, this is where the story takes a modern turn. You might be thinking, okay, if this is so important, why don't we talk about crossover cables all the time? And the reason is, like so many clever manual fixes in tech, this one has been almost perfectly automated. Say hello to Auto-MDIX. It stands for Automatic Medium Dependent Interface Crossover. Yeah, that's a total mouthful, I know. But what it does is super simple. It's smart technology built right into modern network ports that does the crossover for you automatically. Think about it like this. Back in the day, you absolutely had to know which cable to use for which job. It was a fundamental skill. But today, network ports with Auto-MDIX are smart. They can detect what they're connected to. They can basically ask, hey, am I talking to another computer? Okay, no problem. I'll just electronically swap my pins so we can communicate. It handles that handshake automatically. No special cable needed. So if our devices are now this smart, does any of this even matter anymore? I mean, is the crossover cable just a museum piece? Not at all. For a real IT pro, understanding this concept, and yeah, even keeping a crossover cable in your bag, is still a secret weapon. And here's why this still matters, big time.
Because trust me, you will eventually run into some older network gear in a dusty server closet that doesn't have Auto-MDIX. Or you might need to plug your laptop directly into a server or a router to fix something, bypassing the whole network. In those moments, having a crossover cable in your bag can be the difference between a quick fix and a massive headache. Plus, honestly, it's just a core concept of how networking actually works.
So let's just boil it all down to one simple golden rule. When you connect different types of devices, like a PC to a switch, they're already designed to talk to each other, so you use a standard straight-through cable. But when you connect similar devices, like a PC to another PC, they speak the same language. That's when you need that crossover cable to translate, unless, of course, they're smart enough to do it themselves with Auto-MDIX. And all this kind of leaves us with a final thought, doesn't it? The crossover cable is such a perfect example of a manual process that's been automated into near invisibility. It really makes you wonder, what other clever fixes and manual overrides are hiding in plain sight all around us? Their jobs so perfectly automated now that we've completely forgotten they were ever a problem to begin with.